Hey everyone! So today we're diving into a really transformative idea. How a simple pile of firewood, stuff most of us would just see as fuel, can actually become these stunning, one-of-a-kind pieces of furniture. It's really a story about vision, creativity, and finding beauty in the most unexpected places.
So let me just start with a question. When you look at a stack of logs, what do you see? Probably just fuel for a fire, right? Maybe a little rustic charm. But what if hidden inside that pile was a unique table or a chair with more character than anything you could ever buy in a store? Something that literally no one else on earth could ever own. And this brings us to our first big idea. It sounds a little crazy, but it's actually pretty simple. It's about rethinking what firewood even is. And this right here is the core philosophy. See, creativity isn't always about inventing something totally new out of thin air. A lot of the time, it's just about seeing what's already there, but with fresh eyes. It's that ability to look at some gnarled, forgotten log and actually envision the elegant lines of a chair leg or the perfectly smooth surface of a tabletop. Okay, so where do you even begin? Well, it all starts with picking your material. You have to somehow go from a whole pile of logs to finding that one single piece that's going to be the canvas for your work. Now, this isn't just about picking out a sturdy chunk of wood. You gotta think of it more like you're casting the main character in a play. You're on the hunt for a log that has a story, one with some personality that's etched right into its grain, its knots, and its shape. You're really searching for the one that kind of speaks to you. But how do you actually make that choice? Well, you're looking for what we call good character. Things like interesting knots, a really unique grain, maybe a compelling shape. These aren't flaws, they're features. What you absolutely have to avoid are the deal breakers. Stuff like deep structural rot, serious insect damage, or wood that's just brittle and crumbly. The key thing here is to embrace imperfection, but not structural weakness. Big difference. So once you've picked out your hero log, that's when the real magic begins. This next part, it's not about manufacturing. It's all about transformation. It's a process of revealing the beauty that's been locked inside that wood the whole time. We can basically break this down into 4 stages of awakening the wood. First, you reveal the shape. You're using carving tools to strip away the bark and all the excess, just letting the piece's natural form start to emerge. Then comes the really patient part, smoothing the surface. You're working your way through finer and finer grits of sandpaper until it feels smooth as silk. After that, you've got to protect that beautiful grain with an oil or a finish that makes its colors just deepen and pop. And finally, there's assembly, where you join the pieces together, trying to get a bond so strong and seamless, it looks like it just grew that way. And this quote really gets to the core mindset. The goal here isn't to force the wood into a shape that you want. It's about helping it find its own shape. You're basically collaborating with the material. You're not just imposing your will on it. You follow its curves, you work with the grain, and you let the wood's natural character guide your hands. It's partnership, really. So, after all that patient work, what do you actually get? Well, this next part is the grand reveal. This is where we see the amazing result of that transformation. Furniture that doesn't just fill a space, it actually feels like it has a soul. Just look at this thing, the twisted leg table. That really unusual twist in the leg, something that might be seen as a total defect in standard lumber, becomes the absolute star of the show here. It gives this cable a sense of movement and a dynamic character that you could just never, ever replicate in a factory. Or how about this one? The live edge chair. So the live edge is just the natural, uncut edge of the wood. Instead of squaring it off and making it all perfect, the creator just preserved it. And that one simple choice connects the final piece directly back to the tree it came from, giving it this beautifully organic and authentic feel. And here's maybe the most powerful result of all. The piece you create is 100% yours. Its specific grain, its unique knots, its particular shape, it's a complete one-of-a-kind creation. It has a story that literally starts in a forest, passes through a firewood pile, and then ends right in your home. So this brings us to our final section, because this whole idea is way bigger than just wood. It's really about turning the focus back to you and your own creative potential. So what's the big takeaway here? Well, it's about learning to see potential absolutely everywhere, not just in a pile of firewood. It's about embracing imperfections and seeing them as the source of true character. It's remembering that the whole creative process is a story of transformation. And maybe most importantly, it's knowing that you have the power to make something truly extraordinary from the most ordinary things. So I'll leave you with this thought. We started with this idea of igniting innovation from a simple log, but the potential for that kind of transformation, it's all around you. So the only question left is, what will you choose to ignite?